What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? Listen, baby, I had no idea. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, because this is American Horror Story Season 11. And I honestly had no idea that it was coming up. When I first mentioned it in one of my What It Is, I said it was coming on the 19th. I realized yesterday was the 19th. But for some reason, I just didn't remember that American Horror Story was supposed to come on for a new season on TV. And then I didn't really see no like real promo for it because I saw somebody retweet when I mentioned it in my What It Is video a few weeks ago. I had saw somebody retweet it on my timeline, and it wasn't even from the official American Horror Story, account, Twitter account. It was like from a fan page or whatever. And so I was getting a little bit of updates on that. But other than that, I didn't see no trailer. I didn't see no nothing. I didn't really see no promo this time. Okay. And then I had to go search a little bit ago, and it was just like a 30-second trailer that really wasn't nothing. So I was like, oh, what's going on with this season? And I know I ain't been watching regular TV like that, but baby, ain't nothing been popping up in ads or nothing like they used to do for the last one and shit. Girl, because they hyped double feature up so goddamn bad, and that shit was terrible, but we shall see how this one goes. So far, I might like this, okay? If they do it right, I feel like I see the potential of me getting back into it. I don't know how it will go over with a lot of the rest of the American Horror Story people, but, because it's gay shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how he is about gay shit. Or how some of y'all are. Hold on. Because it's Ryan Murphy. But anyway, this is American Horror Story, New York, Season 11, Episode 1. What is it called? Something's Coming. Okay. So, mind you, I think it was 2 episodes too. So, pause. If it's going to be 1 episode, I just want to get this out. I do have What It Is, and I also have Sisters to Do on Wednesdays. Now, if it's only 1 episode per week, yes, I should be able to get American Horror Story out on Wednesday night as well. But if not, just look for it on Thursday after I get off work, okay? So just to let y'all know, Ashley will be in that thing. But anyway, so this is Season 11, Episode 1, Something's Coming, okay? So basically, we down there up in New York, all right? What's up, New York? What's up, New York? I gotta give my shout outs because, in my last video, the West Side, some of the West Side people was, y'all was a little butthurt, but it's understandable. I get it, out here in Chicago. That's y'all people. But anyway, we out here in New York and it's 1981, right? So when we first get up into the episode, we see like these these flight attendants getting out of the car. Okay, I said, where y'all going? They was like, girl, we going to the hotel. We just got off the plane and everything. We just got through doing what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? We have a little layover till our next ride, till our next gig or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, you got the pilot with them too, right? He got to get a little rest up or whatever. And so they up in a little hotel. And then we see the pilot, he come walking down the aisle on whatever floor he on, right? And then we see one of the girls come out the door and she in her little nightie and everything. Then I said, excuse me, ma'am, that's what you're going to go get some ice for? And she said, girl, yeah, because I'm trying to trap me a pilot. That is what I'm trying to do. Mr. Pilot said, what's good? He was like, yeah, I'm just coming back from kicking it with the other girls. We was gonna go get some cocktails and all this stuff. And she was like, well, how come you just can't have a cocktail with me up in my room? And it was like, you know what, that's cute or whatever, but I'm married. And she was like, funny things about these married rings and shit, you can just fucking take them off. He said, boo-boo, that don't come off of my hand. I said, oops. Her face had dropped. I said, pick it up. Pick that jaw up and go back up in there and put some clothes on. Okay? Because she was, the way that she came out the door, it was like she was waiting for him. Because as soon as he said no, politely, she went back in the room with an attitude. I said, girl, I thought you was going to get some ice. No, you came out there to get some dick, okay? And he said no, because this dick is not for you. It's for a nigga, okay? That's what it's for. Baby, we see him getting did up. Let me ask this question. To my people that's watching this from back in the day, I don't want to say back in the day, from like back in the 80s or whatever, 70s, 80s or whatever, it was really like this. You know, the bondage, the leather culture and everything. You know, I don't particularly go too deep into the gay world. Like, I know the basic stuff, you know what I'm saying? If you ask me some things, I know. But this particular part of it, I just feel like this is kind of like, no shade, but more so like what the white gays are being into. I'm pretty sure some black gays and some other people of color gays kind of, you know, ventured off into this or whatever, but it just seems like that's more so the white gays type of thing, whatever. But y'all can tell me, educate me, you know what I'm saying? Knowing me, I might just go ahead and look some stuff up, okay? Cause it's a little fascinating. Anyway, I like to read about my people. Anyway, so he gonna put on all this leather stuff. I said, wait a minute, he got the hat, he got the jacket, he got the tight pants on. And I said, where we going? He said, we going down into the pier. I said, oh, so that's a real thing. Not saying that that's a real thing, but you know, every time I have ever heard about some gay shit going down or whatever, it was either at a bathhouse in New York or it was a pier or whatever down there back in the day, like in the 80s or whatever. And mind you, this is 1981. And so when he was going down there, it's just so crazy the shit that we had to go through, especially gay men, especially because they were the ones that was heavily ostracized. I mean, lesbians were as well, still are, but again, society is somewhat more tolerant of a lesbian than they are of a gay man, and it's really fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But you know, you got that going on, and the way that they had to sneak around and find little spots or whatever. I said, ain't no way in hell I'm fucking on no dirty ass pier. Okay, when he went through that little maze or whatever and he found what he was looking for, he was about to put his dick in the glory hole. Okay, I saw the hole in the wall. He started unbuckling. I said, excuse me, what if it's dried up, come up in that hole? I'm just saying because on the opposite side, it was this dude that was big as hell in his leather hat, leather hood, leather everything. And I was just like, who is you? That's Big Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, we don't even know if he get his dick sucked. All we know is he got his head chopped off. Pilot no more. Man down, because they found his body at the pier. They fished his body out the goddamn water and his head was chopped off. Meanwhile, we got streets and sanitation trying to clear up freaking sewage or whatever later on some part of the street that wasn't even around there. And baby, once the water then went down, why is the head right there in the goddamn water? I said, now how the fuck did that happen? So we got the police officer Patrick. Come to find out, Patrick is gay too, but Patrick is in the closet because you know he is a police officer, and you know how it was. It's, truth be told, it's probably still very homophobic on certain places or whatever, like the police force or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it was way more. You saw the Dahmer shit or whatever. And so you got him on the case. You also got his partner, who is the writer for this newspaper called The Native that talks about gay issues. You know, we see Sandra Bernhardt, her character, come in with a couple of her lesbian friends because they want some, you know, bitch, we all in this together. Why won't you write about what's going on with lesbians and stuff like that? He said, first of all, that's cool or whatever, but I'm a gay man. I don't know shit about the lesbians. So that's not what I'm worrying about right about now. And what is more prevalent is the fact that there is somebody out here killing gay men. And that is what we need to pay attention to. You know, she got up in her feelings about that, but at the time I kind of understood it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe Sandra, y'all need to go find and start your own shit, you know, at this point, because that's literally how it was. So we get that. And then you get their home life, Patrick and Gino. Gino is a little bit older than Patrick, of course. You know, that's just how it be sometimes up in the community. But they're legal, they're of age, and it's consensual. They're partners, they're living together. We get the backstory. Basically, Gino is out. Of course, we know he's out. Patrick is not, because he's on the police force, right? And now he got to work these gay murders or whatever. This is people in his community and all that. And Gino want to get a little bit of the inside scoop. And Patrick was like, baby, I can't give it to you. I would love to, but I can't give it to you without risking my job. Gino get pissed off. I said, now, Gino, now stop. He talking about some, I can't believe I'm doing this shit. being here with you, being forced back up in the closet, being with somebody that can't come out and all this shit. I said, excuse me, sir, just because he said that he don't want to jeopardize his job at the moment because that's all he got, and you gonna get in your feelings and you gonna come at him like that? I said that's fucked up. And truth be told, I don't know, it just gives me the feelings like he threw a little temper tantrum like that all the time because Patrick was kind of used to it. He didn't even really flinch, okay? At that point, I would have said, get your ass out and don't come back. Because ain't nobody asked you or tell you to be with me. You chose on your own to be with me and you knew the situation, all right? And the situation with Patrick is because later we see him with his wife Barbara, or his ex-wife Barbara, meeting up at a little coffee shop. And, you know, he was married at one point, and this was typical. And to this day, for, you know, because of still society, it is typical like that, unfortunately, where, you know, men and women be getting married to each other knowing damn well they're gay or lesbian, and they're just using each other for beers and all that stuff until one decides to actually just come on out and be their true selves because they were scared or they was doing it for their family or whatever. And that's what it seemed like for them. He did say that he loved her, and did you notice that she was like, she got a stomach cold? You know, she don't know what's going on, but she don't know how to function, whether or not she's supposed to hug them or not, you know, because of the situation, meaning that they're not together anymore. And he was like, we're cool. We're cool. Gave her a little kiss and told her, you know, I loved you. I really did. She said, I just wish you would have just told me the truth. And was like, if he would have told you the truth, girl, you probably would have called him all type of F words, to be quite fair. But, because that's just how the attitude was really back then. Meanwhile, what else was going on? Gino, we get this other sub-story or subplot because we already got one body, okay? Then we get introduced, I believe, to a character named Adam. Is his name Adam? I'm coming. What's his name? Adam. I'm looking at it because this is the first episode, so I'm trying to get the names down. So I got the list of it. Yes, his name is Adam, and he's on the couch in the you know, in his apartment that he shared with his roommate. And I'm thinking, is he sick or whatever? Because why he's so slimy? Baby, it's just hot as shit out there. Because everybody was fucking glistening in this episode. I said, oh, the air conditioners weren't working then, okay? You know, they said it's New York, baby. Back in the 80s, we ain't got time for all that. You know, we make do with what we got, okay? And, I guess he was getting over a little heartbreak because he was sitting on the couch sulking, and then suddenly his friend, his roommate, was trying to get him out the house. Go ahead, go to the bathhouse or whatever, because that's what they was known for. I was looking at these bathhouses, okay, and to my gays that was back there back then, you know, and if y'all participated in some of this shit, put it down up in the goddamn comments, because this is I love it, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to learn more. Did the bathhouses actually look like that? Like this? These places were so nice. And I'm like, up in New York, these places nice, got the pools and everything. It look kind of clean. I said, you know what? It's so crazy because even today, it's not really that many lesbian spots, okay? The gays get a lot of shit. And I feel some type of way about it, but it's okay. All right, you know, we don't got that many lesbian clubs. Like, if you want to actually, I would say it's probably 5 lesbian clubs to every 150 gay club. That's just how it is, okay? It's crazy like that. But the bathhouse look kind of nice. It look kind of clean and everything. It still wouldn't be my cup of tea because I'm just not that type of person that's just going to go up to somebody and say, hey, you want to fuck? And then we go fuck. No, that's just not me, okay? I got to get to know who the fuck you are first, okay? At least give me your name. At least take me out to dinner for a second. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to go out to dinner. Go give me an ice cream. Well, no, I'm lactose intolerant, okay? Give me some candy. You know what I'm saying? Do something like that. You know, give me a little conversation. Don't just fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Or let me fuck you. I don't know. But he go up there, him and his friend, he just sitting there. He not really in the mood. But his friend, no, before he get to the bathhouse, his friend took him out to the to this other place. It was in the park, okay? The dude said, first of all, this shit is dirty. He was like, don't worry about it. And I mean, it was gays galore. I said, oh, go ahead, yo picking. And then the one that the friend chose, I said, Now, I ain't the one about looks because, bitch, who the fuck am I? But at the same time, I said, baby, you can do a little bit better. You can do a little bit better. Okay, you can do a little bit better. You know, so Adam just sitting over there and he minding his business. He let his friend go off, do what he had to do. And then while Adam was out there, he run up into Big Daddy, Big Leather Hoodie Daddy. Okay, I said, oh, what you doing, Big Daddy? And it scared him, so he ran, right? And he's screaming or whatever, Sully, Sully. Now, Sully was about to get his dick sucked, okay? Sully was about to get his dick sucked, and he just couldn't get through with it because he was like, oh my God, I gotta get my roommate. That's my roommate. You know, calling me and all that shit. So he go running after him. Baby, he ran into Big Daddy, and we ain't never seen Sully since. Adam had to go down there to the police department, try to file a report because he don't know where his roommate at, and he just so happened to get Patrick. I felt like Patrick was trying to let him know that, listen, I'm on your side because I'm one of you, you know what I'm saying? But he still has to keep it cool and keep it under wraps that he's gay, you know, because you got Adam basically saying, y'all don't give a fuck about us gay people. And that's literally how it was back then. And even, quite frankly, today it probably still is to a certain extent. And I was just like, you know what? That's crazy. You know, he said, it's not that we're not doing nothing right now. It's I can't do anything because he hasn't been missing but for 12 hours. And, you know, you got to be missing for 24 hours before you can actually do something, which I feel like is a dumb thing. But, hey, that's just the policy, I guess, you know, the rules. Meanwhile, you know, he go down to the bathhouse and, you know, he sees on the wall one of these paintings, not a painting, a photography. It was a photo of a guy that looked like Big Daddy with the leather hood and everything on it. He was just buff like a motherfucker. Baby, I don't like all the muscles. Okay, wait a minute. It's to a certain extent. To a certain extent, okay? Like, all that hard body shit, that's why I just couldn't. I just, like, if I'm thinking about it now, I just really couldn't be with a man because a man is just a little bit too hard for me. Like, you know, I need something soft like me, you know what I'm saying? And I want gushy. I want something just, you know. And if I probably was with a man, I'd probably be with a thick one, you know what I'm saying, who got a little bit of man titty, you know what I'm saying? So that's a little soft or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. You know, we can play with each other's titties and all that, you know what I'm saying? I always said that. But, you know, he asked the bartender who took the picture, and the guy who took the picture, his name is Theo. He was back there finna get his thing in or whatever, you know, he a little hoe. Mind you, they got Patti LuPone up there singing Fever, and she was just in the episode twice singing at the bathhouse, okay? I said, so y'all out here getting your dick and your ass, getting your dick sucked and all that shit and getting fucked, and you got live entertainment too? Wow, the privilege. Seemed like a good time, bitch. The privilege, okay? And so, you know, he was about to go up there. Adam was about to go up there to Theo, but Theo had a little, you know, depth to go do. So, you know, he's sitting down there with Gino. Gino, he was asking Gino some stuff or whatever. I can't really remember. But, Gino, actually, we're going to get to him. Gino goes over back to the house, and we see Patrick, you know, he up there smoking some weed or whatever. He about to go out. So to satisfy Gino's curiosity, get him back on his good side or whatever, you know, he tells him about the whole situation of, I can't leak the story because I'm a police officer, and if I do and make the NYPD look bad, baby, that's coming for my ass. Look at what that thing did. It left a fucking mark on my... It looked like I burnt my skin off, and I really... See, this is what happens when I just keep picking with shit. It's healed up. It's just gonna leave that scar. Fuck me. Anyway, look like something. Anyway. So, I was just like, all right, so what you gonna do? He said, here, go to this place, the Brownstone Bar or whatever, and you can get the information, and you can leak the story, and you can put it out there. I can't go around asking about it because he's not supposed to really be in the investigation. But you can go ask about it or whatever. Mind you, he also had a conversation with him about the different handkerchief code. Now, see, I heard about this back in my young gay years when I was just coming out or whatever. My uncle had these magazines and stuff. And so, I was looking at them because I wasn't even supposed to be looking at them. This was even before I came out. I had stumbled upon them, and it was something talking about the handkerchief code, colors and all that shit. And I was like, oh, wow, cool. And to hear that, I said, yeah, because Mr. Pilot Man, he had a dark blue handkerchief up in his mouth. And it was like dark blue means anal, black mean BDSM, the yellow mean, I guess, the piss. You know what I'm saying? They said, I think one meant just having oral sex, giving oral sex, or receiving oral sex, or whatever. And it's true. It's true these days still. I feel like because back then you had to hide a little bit and you didn't know what it is that you wanted. And just like they said, like when you with a woman, if you're heterosexual, okay, the man fucks the woman and that's what you do. But with the gays, you put out there exactly what it is that you want. You just want your dick sucked. You just want to give head to somebody. You just want a penetration, whichever one. You want to do some type of water sports or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. I wish we had some shit like that out here now. I don't know, I gotta look into it because, baby, I don't be knowing who is gay or not. And I'm talking about the lesbians, okay? When it comes to films, I'm telling you, that is probably the hardest thing about being, I feel like it's more harder to be a lesbian, especially a masculine presented lesbian, and trying to figure out if a woman is a lesbian as well, or at least bisexual into something, because the feminine women all look the same, beautiful, you just can't tell. And I'm the type of person, I don't want to just make somebody uncomfortable by asking them or whatever, and then they're not, and I don't want them to look at me strange or whatever. So hey, that's why I don't say nothing sometimes. But hey, that is what it is. So Gino go down to the Brownstone bar, and he sent a drink over to this older gentleman, okay? He talking about the old school days or whatever, but then we get into the whole situation of what we here for. We trying to get some information on a possible serial killer out here, and he said, well, it was this dude. He come out here, he used to come over here to this particular bar, whatever, and this is the place where the chubbies go, the ones that's not getting enough love, the ones that's sad, the one that's going through stuff, the one that's being looked over. Because if you don't know, I feel like I don't know if this is true, but it just comes off like it's a lot more shallowness sometimes in the LGBT community, and I've seen it a lot in the gay community. And then to my gays, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong or whatever, but I've seen so many no fats, no films, and and I'm like, it's like they be discriminating against the femmes. I said, damn, they don't want no femme boys. They don't want no femme, the chubbies. They don't want the bigs. You gotta have this. And I'm like, damn. I mean, I know we have our preferences, but shit, it's just, wow. You think you would be accepted, and then sometimes you just not, and it's a whole bunch of them that just be sitting there like, I can't get no love because people got too high standards, or they want this and they want that, and it's just crazy. And so he was like, this dude would prey on that, take them, ride them, do whatever he want with them, and he said that's the last time I see him. I won't see him again, ever again. And dude was like, can I quote you up in this the news, the article? And he said, hell no, it's a fucking serial killer out here, as you said, and you want me to be next? And you want to put my name up there? Hell, my name is up in the phone book, meaning you can look me up and you can fucking find my address. I'm not gonna do that, because for those young ones who don't know, back in the day, we used to have the yellow pages and the white pages. I think the white pages was for the residential, You can find people phone numbers and addresses just like that. I said that was some dangerous ass shit, to be quite honest, if you think about it. Okay, I can see the business. All right, you're trying to get business, go ahead and put that, but you got people fucking addresses up in the fucking book? Girl, please. Anyway, so he leaves out. Gino had a drink. Somebody dosed his drink as he was walking down the street. He and then somebody said, maybe somebody roofied your drink. I said, oh my God, who are you? And it was so blurry. And they put him in a car, and we ain't seen Gino yet. Okay, I got to see if he gonna pop up in the next episode, girl. Meanwhile, speaking of that, Sully, we still ain't found Sully. But, Adam did got some information on Theo. Theo invited him to his studio, or he saw where his studio was at. Now, Theo is the photographer. Baby, Theo cute. And I was looking at him closely because that voice, I said, baby, I didn't think that deep ass voice was going to come out of that body. And I was looking at his features, and you want to know why I was looking at his features? I know genes is a crazy thing. I know genetics. I know all of that stuff or whatever, because he was photographing. He was taking pictures of this black man, and he was up in a little like bondage wear or whatever. I said he had a nice piece on him. I said, wow, okay, cool. I see why you was taking a picture of it. Nice little structure, whatever. Then he told what's his name to come over there. If you want to ask me questions, take your clothes off, do all this stuff. It was giving very predatory. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay. It just made me uncomfortable slightly, just slightly. But then I got over it because he wasn't going to do anything to him. But it was another scene where something did happen, or it implied that something could have possibly happened with another person. We'll get to that in a second. But, you know, he was asking questions about who it was that he was filming, you know, taking the pictures of, and Big Daddy. That's how we get the name Big Daddy. He said we haven't heard from him or seen him in a long time. But then Theo started talking about how, you know, he has this particular sense or whatever that was passed down from his grandmother who lives in Haiti. And I was like, oh, you a little Haitian? Theo, I said, maybe that explains the deep voice. And then I'm looking at his features, and I'm like, is that a little tan that I see? I'm looking at his hair, I'm like, is it a little? You know, when you hit shit like that, you gotta look. I say, all right, okay, you know. And come to find out, he said he got that same gift as well. Like, he could feel when stuff is about to happen, okay? But then as they was getting into it, he couldn't get that much information. But as they was getting into it, he had to go because his boyfriend was coming up in there. I said, wait a minute, your boyfriend? His boyfriend / benefactor. That's just what it was. His boyfriend, Sam, played by, oh my God, y'all know who he is. What is his name? Quinto, something like that. I wish his other show came back on that was on AMC when he was the old man that was still in Christmas or whatever. Zachary Quinto. That's what his name is. But he came in and you know, he's basically using Theo to take these photographs of these provocative photographs of men, you know, and selling them to closeted or gay people that are high up, you know what I'm saying, and making a hell of a lot of money off of them. You know, they have a fetish and all this stuff. And you can just tell that he's older than Theo. He's take charge, and he's the one that's making most of the money and helping Theo out. And he's the dominant one in that situation. And I kind of don't like it. It just feels like he probably going to try to take over Theo, and I just don't like it. He was talking to this one guy, trying to convince him to do these photos or whatever to come be photographed by Theo. And then when he came up in there, because the boy was like, I just don't want this to mess up my chances to be like an actor or whatever, you know. He was like, you just got to do this, you know. So when he gets up there and he begins to photograph him, Theo already got his shirt off, okay? It's hot as shit up in there. His body glistening. I said, damn, open up a window, okay? But they told him to take his clothes off, okay? And then, well, take your shirt off. That's what Theo said. Theo never said ever that we've heard him say, take your full clothes off. He would just say, take your shirt off, and that's it. Here comes Sam talking about no, let's make this shit interesting. Take your clothes off. He took a freaking stool, turned it upside down, where the legs are just up in the air, and they're circular, not because some stools, they have like the square legs, but this one was circular. And then he gave him like a jar or something, and I'm like, please tell me that wasn't lube that he was giving him, and he telling him to take his shit off. And then I know you don't want him to fuck the chair legs and take pictures of that. And that's what I'm assuming happened, because after it went down, Theo was uncomfortable and Sam was just so coked up. Oh yeah, because drugs was very prevalent back then, and it still is now, but they really was doing some shit back then, baby. Out in the open, and didn't give a fuck. That motherfucker said, I want you to put some of those aside into my personal collection. I said, ugh. That is nasty, okay? It just felt very, and I say it's nasty because it felt like he was taking advantage of this young boy. You know what I'm saying? This young guy that was trying to come, get his first break, whatever, and you're using him for your own personal benefit. I said, that's just so, I hope something happened to him. You know, meanwhile, he wanted to fuck Theo. Theo said, go fuck yourself. Theo went down there to the bathhouse, and he out there, you know, talking to Adam or whatever. He wound up going and fucking somebody else. Mind you, the boy that he just photographed, he down there at the bathhouse. He going there with somebody. He turned around up into the, it was like a little steam room or whatever. He turned around behind him, Big Daddy behind him. I said, well, he gone. He gone. And at this point, you got Patti LuPone just up in there just singing her butt off or whatever. Meanwhile, another situation that's going on that I haven't spoken on, and it was mentioned very briefly. We saw 2 scenes, maybe 3. First, we see Billy Lord's character, which I believe her name is Hannah. She's in a lab with this black doctor or black scientist, and they're looking at some type of virus that keeps mutating, okay? It was like it's mutating really fast. I don't know what this is, but we need to get a hold of it. We need to call the governor, we need to call New York and all this stuff and get a hold of it. Next thing you know, we see Billy, or I should say Hannah, talking to like the police and whoever else that was down there saying that, you know, because it was a deer or something that had got killed, and she was, it looked infected. So she was taking samples and saying that this illness is in the deer and they can spread it. So we need to kill up all the deers or whatever before we can get to the human population if it's not already there. And next thing you know, we see them gather up some deers or whatever that was on that particular island or that particular place that they was at, and they wind up killing them, shooting them down like a shooting squad, you know? And it just, I said, so this is supposed to be HIV? This is supposed to be HIV. That's what I'm going to assume what the illness is, because it is 1981, and I believe around the early 80s, around 84, that's when it really came out to realize what HIV was, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was still confused about it. Girl, I said, okay, Ryan, I don't know how I feel about you trying to make it a gay serial killer out here killing gay people, but I mean, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to keep on going with you. The first episode, it was cute. It was cute. It's keeping my interest enough to go see the second episode, but that was episode number 1 for season 11. I'm glad that it's going back, because I can already tell that it's going back to the original format, meaning it's not like that double feature stuff. I don't know. I feel like double feature was just a throwaway season, you know, because of everything that happened in the pandemic or whatever, and it was just like, well, shit, let's just do something. That's what it felt like. But I'm going to give this a chance. You guys tell me how you felt about this first episode. I'm going to go watch the second one, and then I will get that review right up tonight as well. All right? I'll see y'all in a little bit. Peace. Girl.